Hello and welcome to the first ever Dirt Rally 2.0 live stream. I'm Aaron. Sorry, you were going to say something. Go on.
No, I just
Go
cheered.
for it.
No, I cheered because I'm
it.
very excited. It's the first Dirt show of Dirt Rally 2.0, so I'm very, very excited.
It is
of course.
exciting. So I'm Aaron and I'm joined by the Ant to my Deck, the Batman to my Robin, the Laurel to my Hardy.
Me?
You.
Yeah.
Christina. I'm also joined by Ross, the chief game designer, and over just out of shot, you can't see him, but is John, our resident rally expert.
Nice. And by the magic of the internet, he's just
Oh,
appeared.
he's there. Good job, Dan. So, Christina, what are we going to talk about today?
So, I don't know if you saw anything on the internet last week, but we obviously announced Dirt Rally 2.0 to the global press and some influencers and community last week. It was at the Red Bull Gaming Sphere. We had a big old event. We let people play the game. We had a cool trailer as well, and we had this guy and this guy doing some interviews too. So we're going to just talk a little bit about that, talk a little bit about what you can expect to see from Dirt Rally 2, and then also field some of your questions, which I've got here. So thank you to everyone who sent in some questions previously. So before we jump into those, John, I believe you're about to demonstrate how to do Argentina properly. No pressure. Are you ready for the challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's New Zealand, not Argentina.
Oh, is it? Sorry, I can't see that very well. So we're going to hit New Zealand first. Very, very exciting. And John is also very good. So no pressure, John, but show people how to play the game.
Let's do it.
Cool. So while John's doing that, we're going to, as I mentioned, take some community questions from you guys. So there's one big one that has been cropping up. So we're going to just address that straight away. Now, Ross, the VR community have spoken about Dirt Rally 2.0 and their kind of desire for VR support. What's the stance with that at the minute?
So we won't be having VR in the game for launch, but it is something that we're listening to everybody's comments and all of the things the community have to say about it. We are all ears, and if there's an enormous demand for it, then yeah, we can do it. It's no small undertaking, but if it's what people want, then yeah, we'll try and get it done.
We've got another one here from Aris on Facebook, so thank you, Aris. Will we have tyre wear?
Yes, tyre wear is one of the things we've brought in, along with tyre selection. So players will have a choice of how hard the compound is in any given conditions. These will wear out throughout the stage, so yeah, you need to pick carefully and yeah, avoid having to do the entire second half of a long stage on nearly bald tyres.
Okay, cool. So I think we'll take one more as well. So will this be a simulation game only, or will there be gamer handling? And that's from Jacques on Facebook.
So simulation is what this game is about, as opposed to Dirt 4, which has two handling models. This doesn't. This goes with the first Dirt Rally, where it's focused on serious, and yeah, everything's built towards that.
Yeah, so a noob like me will still struggle.
Well, no, I think there's an opportunity for you to sort of find your starting point in the game. There's some of the sort of the lower powered historic stuff, like the Mini, which you can get to grips with in the same way that people do in real life. You know, start out in smaller front wheel drive cars and then start to work your way up to more and more powerful stuff.
So it's still very much the Dark Souls of racing games.
Well, yeah, you know, that's what people want to call it. So.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Actually, last week at the event, we had a certain gentleman who I won't name who binned it off on a corner about 20 times. But then when he finally nailed that corner, he said that turning up on the day was worth it just for like those 2 seconds where he felt like a superhero. So while there is a very steep learning curve, it's a very satisfying learning curve as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, it's not easy to do all these things in real life, and so when you're able to replicate that in game, the feeling is yeah, pretty special.
I'm just watching John's feet. It's like a ballerina, isn't it? What an absolute start!
It's
he's incredible. I'm blown away. This is one of the first times I've actually seen Johnny do his thing. So this is incredible.
He's basically ruined all of our office lap time challenges or stage time challenges. Though, you know, before when it was just video game developers doing it, yeah, we were having a whale of a time.
Great at this.
But yeah, now that we've got a professional amongst us. I mean, it's the fact that people seem to be paying him for coaching as well, which has really made things unfair.
So is he banned? Is he permanently banned from all of the competition?
No, we let him take part, and he wins, and then the rest of us scrabble around for second place.
I've seen a few people slip him a tenner, just like, how do I do this?
Yeah.
I mean, if that's the going rate, then I think I'm going to get involved as well.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take some personal coaching. So we have had another question from Kev on Twitter, so thank you, Kev, for sending it in. Are the stages that we'll see in Dirt Rally 2.0 based on real life locations, or are they generated by your stage again?
So they're bespoke stages. So in line with the first Dirt Rally, you'll be able to practice a stage to kind of learn the layout. I mean, the track surface is going to change in that, but they're bespoke stages, and yes, they are based on real world locations. We have a kind of research team go out, look at all of the terrain and the routes. We also use satellite data to make sure that we're modelling things as accurately as we can where we're able to. The feedback we get from some of the guys who've been involved in kind of WRC have said that this stuff aligns with what they've experienced many times. So
cool. So you just touched on it there slightly. I'm going to ask you to expand. Tell us a little bit more about how the surface of the tracks will evolve over the course of Dirt Rally 2.0.
So we have a system in place where, based on where the player is in the starting order, the track surface kind of evolves. So the guys who are starting in positions 1 to 5, you'll kind of find it's slightly slippery as the material needs to be cleared away. From kind of 5th to 10th in the running order is the ideal running position, and then kind of from 11th down to 150th, you'll find that the surface is kind of started to rut up. Material's been moved to off the racing line, and it becomes a whole lot more challenging.
No, so optimal running sort of place is between 5th and 10th. So you've got the loose surface that's been swept, and you're not basically driving in train tracks.
Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly.
Excellent. So we've got another question. This is from Chris on Twitter. So will there still be daily and weekly events and challenges? Yeah,
they were super popular, and so we'll be bringing those back. There'll be a couple of variations on the themes as well. Should be plenty to keep people engaged.
We'll take one last one, I guess, and then we'll sort of. Or should we join?
Let's join John.
Let's join John on board. Let's have a little watch and listen.
Into 4 right, opens over crest. Into 1 right tightens. Opens. Into 3 left. Into 5 right. Into don't cut. 4 left, very long. Opens and 5 right of a crest. Opens long of a crest through narrow grid. And keep left of a crest. Into 4 right. Into slow 2 left, tightens, don't cut. Into 3 right of a crest. Into unseen, don't cut. 1 left long tightens. Keep right of a 30. Don't cut, 5 left. Into don't cut, 1 right long. Opens. Into 2 left tightens. Into 1 right. Opens of a crest. Into 3 left. And 5 right of a crest. Opens long of a crest. Slow 4 left long. Tightens 1. Tightens. Into turn 1 right tightens. Keep left of a 40. 5 right of a crest. Very long tightens. Into 4 left long. Into 4 right long. Opens of a crest. 30. 5 left.
So we're going to join Johnny for the final sector here, and that was a hell of a save, that, wasn't it? I thought that I'd have been off a mountain there.
Oh, big moment! I'd have been swimming in the ocean. To be honest, I would have put it somewhere very far away from the track. But you can see he's keeping it really tight. Johnny, what Oh, he can't hear me, or maybe he can. I know he's fastest.
He can, look at him, he's
He
sliding
can
away.
see me. What's your fastest time on this stage so far?
I think the fastest time I've done is 7:50.
Keep right to the third.
So this is
my
appalling
word,
then.
that's
This is stressful.
terrible.
I'm trying to show off a bit more, more sideways action.
Into four.
It's not as quick as
Opens up a crest.
it normally be, but yeah,
Into three left.
good.
Opens up a crest. Jump
Just come
maybe.
up to the finish here, you know.
Yeah, so you've just kindly put it in chase cam so all the viewers can see what it looks like in chase cam, but I know that you're normally a little bit closer to the action than letting the camera hover a little bit further back, so have a look at that.
I'm just going to ask it. Can you hit the marshals at the end?
No.
Ah, boo. That's just the child in me coming out again. Sorry. Right. Just before we dive into. So what are we going on to next? We're going on to South Africa next. Is that right?
No, we're going on to Argentina next.
Where did I get South Africa from?
I have no idea.
I just like South Africa. So here's a question from Here Look a Fork on Reddit, which is a great name. So congrats. Is there any planned support window for this game?
Yeah, so we know what we're doing for the first 6 months after the game, and then we've got some ideas for the 6 months after that as well. Okay. So it's just kind of down to how much people engage and how much they get on board with what we do for the first 6 months.
Okay, cool. Just another quick one here. This is so WRX Supercars support series.
So we'll have some additional rallycross cars in there, such as a cross kart, Super 1600s, and a bit of RX2.
Oh wow! Okay, cool.
The RX2 cars are amazing. They are. So the WRX cars I think are an absolute handful, particularly the Audi. That's brand new to DiRT Rally 2, but I think the RX2 cars are really good fun.
Yeah, they are a good laugh. I mean, you mentioned the Audi there. Yeah, the Audi S1 supercar we've got in, and the Polo RX, and then there's a couple of other new ones as well. So yeah, plenty to get your hands on.
I believe that Johnny,
Excellent.
Are you ready to go?
2 seconds.
two-
Just me waiting.
These 2 seconds. So, have we got
2
anything coming in
seconds away.
live there, Christine?
Let's
what
have a
are the
look.
people seeing? Where are people watching from? Where are you watching this live?
Yeah,
stream
no,
from
you
today?
can tell us where you're watching from. Judging from some of the usernames, it seems pretty international, so that's quite exciting. But yeah, we've just been around New Zealand, and that's in the Mark II Golf, which is a big fan favourite, to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, it is. It was, it's something that's super popular around the studio as well. Yeah, from the mid '80s, but it's a good kind of first step as well for people to get their hands on. Front wheel drive, kind of quite manageable. Get in that and give it a blast, and then see what you can work your way up to.
Cool. So from official Whippy, I don't know if it's the ice cream.
Mr. Whippy.
Yeah, that'd be very
Mr.
exciting.
Whippy, hello. We will take a sponsorship deal.
Yeah.
Carry on.
He would like to know about multiplayer. So will multiplayer kind of involve rally as well as rallycross in DiRT Rally 2.0?
Yeah, it will. Yeah, so you'll be able to play 8-player multiplayer. You can set up a championship of rally or rallycross or a mix of the both, and then play through that round by round online. You're able to do that with friends or with strangers, should be a lot of fun.
Cool. I'm glad strangers in there. Don't really
Excellent.
have any friends.
Yeah,
so.
no, what's exciting is we have viewers from all sorts of places. New Zealand, Germany, Liverpool. Hi Liverpool. It might be our other studio.
It
so
might be.
hey
It might be
guys.
Runcorn.
Germany, France, Estonia, Sweden, Finland, Portugal. So we are feeling very global. We've got someone from California as well. So
Wow.
yeah, we've got people tuning in from
Why
all
aren't they
over
on
the
the
world.
beach or something? Like, no offense to our live stream, it's obviously fantastic,
Yeah.
but I'd be on a beach if I was in California right now.
Yeah, no, so would I. But yeah, no, it's very exciting. We've got lots of people watching and very excited. So
Anyone from Newcastle? That's the most important thing.
anyone from Newcastle?
Obviously. I'm assuming.
No, just watching it roll. Lithuania, slightly more exciting than
Bit
Newcastle.
more
Sorry,
exciting,
Aaron.
Yeah, bit more exciting.
But yeah, no, lots of people from everywhere. So what sort of selection of cars can we expect to see in the next game? So obviously with DiRT Rally we had kind of historic cars going up to kind of more modern day vehicles. What kind of classes will we see for this title?
It's kind of a similar spread. We've got about 50 cars in the game for launch. Going from the 1960s all the way through to the modern day. So whatever takes your fancy, really. I know that sort of mid 90s is particularly popular, so that's represented, and plenty of others too.
Yeah, we've got some of the Colin cars, I believe.
I think there may be one or two of them in there,
Well,
don't you worry.
It wouldn't be right if we didn't.
No, it wouldn't.
It feels wonderful to finally get kind of, well, not finally, 'cause obviously we've had them in previous titles, but it always feels amazing when you're driving one of Mr. McRae's old vehicles in one of these games, especially now with it looking so beautiful. The environment artists have done such a wonderful job on what we're seeing now, so really everything does feel massively uplifted from previous games.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, the environment artists have done some incredible work, as have the vehicle artists and the animation team and character modelling. Really feel that the game sort of feels alive as you're going down a stage, and I really think that sets us apart from others.
Cool. Yeah. I believe. Are you ready? Are you A-okay? Are you ready to rock and roll? Right.
We've had the thumbs up.
We have had the thumbs up.
We're ready.
Right. So let's dive into. I'm going to get this right this time. It's Argentina, isn't it?
Correct.
Way well done.
5, 4.
Right. Do you know what? What we should do is we should just let Johnny take care of this. Let's switch us off. You don't want to hear us. You want to hear this bad boy.
Left, opens 50. Keep right of a jump maybe into 6 left, 30. Slow 4 left, into unseen 1 right. Opens. Keep right of an 80. Unseen 4 left, 30. 5 left. 60 over bumps. Caution, 1 left unseen. Into unseen, hairpin right, narrow. Into 5 left, 30. 4 right, into 3 left, into 2 right tightens. 30. Cut 3 left long tightens, into hairpin left, unseen. Keep left over 30. Caution, don't cut, 4 right. 4 left to unseen, 1 right small cut. Into 4 left. Keep right over 30. Caution, unseen, hairpin left. Into unseen, hairpin right. Opens. Into 4 right. Into unseen, open hairpin left. Opens. Into open hairpin right. Opens. Into 3 right over crest. Into 4 left. Into 1 right tightens. Keep right to the 30. 3 left long. Tightens 2. Opens over crest. Into 5 left. Into 4 right. Into 4 left long. Bumpy 30. Slow 2 right long. Tightens into open hairpin left. Into 4 right over bump. Into caution, 5 left 30 over back bumps, unseen hairpin right. 30. 6 right. 50. Caution, keep right, don't cut 5 left. 30. Crest and 1 left long, tightens hairpin left. Into 5 right. Into don't cut 5 left. Into 1 right. 30. Keep left over crest and bump into 1 right tightens. 50. Over bumps. 2 left tightens. 30. 3 left. 30. Turn unseen 2 right. Keep right over 50. 1 left tightens. 30. 5 right long. Opens. 80. Bumps and jump into 6 left. Into slow. 6 right very long over crest. Tightens. Hairpin right. Don't cut. 50. Crest, and 3 left small cut into 4 right. 50. Turn, 4 left long tightens, 30. Keep right to the junction, into 4 left. And don't cut, 3 left, into 1 right. Into 6 left. 50. 6 right, 30, 3 left, very long, Opens, tightens, 1. 50. 5 right, into 4 left. Into 4 right long, opens, 30. Caution, 2 left narrow. 60. Bumps, into 4 right. 30. 1 right long. Opens, 4 right. Into 3 left on cut. And keep right, 30, open hairpin left. 50. Slow 4 right of a crest long, tightens 2. Into 2 left. Opens 30. 6 left of a crest, 50. Unseen, 2 right. Into 3 left on cut. Into unseen, 2 right small cut. Into 2 left long, tightens. Into 2 right long, opens, tightens, hairpin right, tightens. Into 1 left, tightens, opens long, into turn, 1 right dot cut. Into 2 left long, tightens, opens. Into 2 left long, tightens 1. Into 1 right long, tightens, hairpin right. 30. 1 left long. Into 6 left, sudden, hairpin right.
Insane.
Opens.
He's incredible, isn't he?
I'm absolutely flabbergasted because if this was real life, I'm pretty sure I would have died about 6 times.
It's absolutely bonkers.
The best thing about Argentina is just how dicey it is, and you can see the undulation and the camber and how close you get to the rocks.
Yeah.
So for Johnny just to be doing this, just throwing it around like it's absolutely nothing is incredible.
While we come to the end, let's just quickly talk a little bit about Johnny and basically that he is legit, and also chat a little bit about his co-driver.
Yeah. So Ross, tell us more about whose dulcet tones John will be listening to right now.
So we have got World Championship winning co-driver Phil Mills doing the calls in this game, who was Petter Solberg's co-driver. And yeah, Phil's done some fantastic work for us. It's great to be able to get him in the game and work with him.
Yeah, we'll actually be doing a road book a little bit later on in the campaign, hopefully next week actually, on the experience of Phil recording his co-driver calls, because it's really, really interesting how it's done. It's not just done once. Johnny puts him through various different levels of stress. I think stress is probably the right word when he's recording them. So if you're going quite slowly, or it's a little bit pedestrian, or you've just been reset, he sounds quite calm, and obviously if you're throwing it around maximum pace, he sounds distressed.
Yeah, and those guys work really well together. So John does kind of recce videos, which Phil can then write his notes from. Then John will do a feedback with Phil and say that he wants certain things tweaked and changed. Then when Phil comes in to do the recording, we get Phil sat in his helmet with the intercom device, sat in our motion platform chair, and give him a good old shaking around while he's recording the calls. And yeah, I think it comes through really well in game.
Yeah, one of my favourite things is speaking to Ollie Johnson, our dialogue producer, and sometimes he can't quite believe that his job is to just drive someone into a tree several times so they get the right reaction. So I said, ouch, or an ooh.
That would not be my reaction if I drove into a tree, I'll be honest with you.
We've got to keep it Peggy 3, so
Yeah,
a little noise is just about right. So, any further questions?
Yeah, we've got a
Aaron?
couple more questions. We're going to dive into a bit of WRX next, but before that, yes, a couple more questions for you, Ross. So, will online multiplayer include rally as well as RX? So have you already answered that?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
we sort of
you can make a
touched on that,
championship of either one or both mixed together.
Yeah. Which do you prefer? If you're racing online, which do you prefer?
Oh, that's a tough call. I can't separate the two. It would be like picking between two of your nephews and nieces, kind of thing. Yeah,
We've all got favourites though.
Well, yeah, I think my preference is probably for rally
Okay.
due to how long I've loved rally for.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, rallycross is awesome.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I'm
Well-
going to politely refuse to answer that question
Okay, no,
properly.
that's good. I like it. Where did your love of rally come from? Like, where did it start? Actually, I'm just interested in all. Like, no one's asked that. I've just asked that myself.
So I mean, I suppose when I was, I must have been about 10 or something like that. I had Network Q Rally on the PC.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember trying to play that on the keyboards for like an entire school holiday.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was kind of where it really came from. I think my dad was into rally and motorsports, and yeah, so that was where that came from. I've still my hands have never really recovered.
You've
from
still got the
6 weeks.
the
something
Network Q
like
claw.
that. So,
I like that. And just one more question not from anyone sort of online. It was actually came from Dan Hawkins over there on the mixing desk. Spectator mode. He's keen to know about spectator mode.
yeah, so when you are competing against other people in rally or rallycross, yeah, if you're the first one across the finish line, you'll be able to see how the others are getting on. Then further down the line, once we start talking about esports and competitive multiplayer, then we'll start looking at whether we can do more with the spectator mode, allow people a lot more sort of free choice what they're looking at. So yeah, we'd be interested to hear what it is that people really want from that.
Okay, cool. I mean, there's a lot of people are going to be watching us online. Then,
Yeah.
I guess.
But I think that's a really reoccurring theme throughout Dirt Rally 2.0. We are so eager to hear what the fans want from the game. I'm certainly all ears on the kind of community front line, and I know you guys are too, and we've got a really great dialogue between us, kind of saying this is what they want to see, this is what they want to see more of. We've obviously worked with our community testers previous to announcing the game, and that's something we really want to kind of continue. So we want to continue listening, continue kind of giving people more of what they want.
Yeah, I mean the sort of the private beta we'd been holding was great to be able to iterate on our handling and get that out there to people and have them feedback on it. That's been key. And yeah, through our forums and all of our other channels, we like you say, we're always listening to what people want, what they want more of, what they want less of, how they think we can tweak things, refine things. Yeah.
Excellent. So it looks as though are we ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
We've had the
That's
the
it.
famous thumbs up again.
The John Armstrong thumbs up. It's going to be a thing. So we're very excited to get into this. John will be driving Petter Solberg's VW. So that is exciting because that's brand new to Dirt Rally 2.0 as well. And we are going around Trois Rivières, which is Canada RX for those of you who aren't too well acquainted with RX. But hopefully you should be, because it's wonderful. And it's the fastest growing motorsport at the minute. And it's brilliant. So let's watch John on board.
Ready to race. Green, go, go, go.
lap now. I mean, I'm just lost for words, to be honest with you.
He's so quick. But you can see how amazing Trois Rivières looks.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, the sun's setting and it's stunning.
One of my favourite things about this circuit is that there is no cutting. So on some circuits you'll hear Neil Cole a lot telling you you're being looked at by the stewards for corner cutting, whereas this one, if you try to corner cut, there is literally concrete right there. So you have to be really technically able to be able to smash this. And as you can see, he is apex grazing all over the place, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I've never seen him clip the rear quarter of the car around here. It's
insane. Here he comes then, cross the line. Obviously he's went and won that. Let's give him a round of applause, everyone. Come on.
Yeah!
Awesome. Johnny, we're going to surprise you. Come and join us on the sofa. Come on.
We're going to snuggle up and it's going to be wonderful.
We're going to get nice and cosy and ask you some questions about what you're up to with the game. So if you want to squeeze
Still
in.
haven't got my shoes on. So.
Right, Johnny, you've been working with us for a few months now, which has been awesome. How excited are you to finally tell people what you've been doing? Because we've been making you keep it a secret for a little while.
Yeah, it's good to tell everyone what we're making, and it's really exciting to see their feedback on what they think of the game. So, I mean, it's really cool to be working on Codemasters because I've been a big fan of their games for years. So yeah, it's really cool.
Excellent. So in terms of your kind of day-to-day stuff, obviously you've been helping out with the handling, but what else? Because I know you've been doing sort of things like pace note validation. Yeah,
it's not just the handling I look at, it's sort of all aspects, pace notes, audio. It's just a full consultancy job, so yeah, it's to make sure every aspect is authentic as it can be.
I've heard that you've been ruining office competitions lately, and that your going rate is about, if someone slips you a tenner, you can teach them your way.
Yeah, it's sort of a going joke now. I'm teaching everyone how to drive in the studio, but yeah, it's really cool whenever we have competitions, and it's good to see that everyone gets involved and tries their hand at the game, and everyone's really competitive.
I mean, outside of yourself, who's the best, would you say? You don't have to say the man next to you either. Just don't let him in.
That wouldn't have been the answer.
I've seen Ross driving too many times. It's definitely not Ross. There's a couple of guys in Kiara handling that are really decent because they do benchmarking as well. So they're probably giving me my best run for my money. So yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to ask, who's the no-hoper?
Ross.
I might not get your contract renewed at this rate.
So a lot of people were watching and saying that was some very nice driving. So the people have enjoyed watching you drive. Have you enjoyed this? Did you feel pressured, or are you just really chilled out?
Yeah, it's pretty tough, especially Argentina. It may look easier than what it is whenever I'm driving, but it's so tough to get through that without any mistakes. So yeah, it was a bit nerve-wracking, but Rallycross was really fun. Had a good blast spinning the car around.
And you've never competed in Rallycross, is that right? So
never competed in Rallycross, but I'm open to offers.
You probably
right into the camera as well, if anyone's watching.
No, I think this is a really nice place to wrap up the stream. It's lovely for you guys to join us, and hopefully you'll join us for a few more of these, because I think it's been good fun. Well, it's been stressful for you, but hopefully good fun for you.
I've had a lovely time.
It's been lovely. It's a nice excuse to just sit on a sofa for a bit. So I think we'll wrap it up there, but thanks ever so much for joining us. You can see us, you can watch this back if you want to watch it again, or if you've only caught little bits of it, it will be available on our YouTube channel and other places. We're not kind of channel exclusive, we like to put it everywhere. That is the wrong phrase to use. Thank you.
Good bit to win.
Yeah, but thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. So, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I'm waving the wrong hand. This one instead. Sorry, Christina.
Like and share if you enjoy the video and think others might benefit from this, and of course subscribe and hit the notification button if you are new to the channel and want to be notified every time I post a video.